We have with us Persecutor Suck City. It's an ode to early heavy metal music videos and the dystopian cinematic aesthetics of Los Angeles in the 1980s. Persecutor makes time to party amidst the desperation of living life in a metropolitan city, devouring all that it has to offer for better or worse. In the video for the single Suck City, from their sophomore album, Snow Business. All right, Sydney, Case, and Luis, you guys worked on this. I love it. It's a team. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I directed the music video. It was for a friend's band. I also produced it, and my husband Casey also produced it with me, and Luis was our editor.
Okay, and working together, I love the tats, by the way. You guys got some pretty good ones. At some point, they're going to call them ats because I guarantee, and they're going digital with them. I guarantee they should. What is that NFT thing? They should do that with. They kind of already do, right? All right. Anyway, let's talk
real estate. Why not? I'll sell real estate on my body. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's talk about it. Obviously, doing something like this, and people don't always get it. You go, it's not well. Can you do a little like, or not really?
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, describe the video?
No, like a real like can you do what is in the video? Like,
oh no way, that's their job. The band has to make the sounds. We just make the visuals.
Yeah,
that's the deal. That's the deal.
Yeah,
okay, here's one.
We're gonna have to do your video next.
Yeah, that's a good one. What about this one?
Perfect.
Okay. All right, then we got it. That's the one. What? I'm working on it. All right. So look, you guys put this together. It's awesome. I want to see it, but that's what you have to come and see. We have a lot of videos. How long is it, by the way?
It's 5 minutes.
Okay.
Kind of long for a music video, and I did something. Well, I mean, I guess music videos can be any length, but I like keeping them short and sweet. But this one, we decided to do a little intro, which usually I'm against, but I came around to the idea of doing an intro while making this video.
Okay. Okay, and I'll say this because you've got, and I'm looking at this. I'm glad I'm looking at it because sometimes they go, why do you not? And I go, I do, but I don't, because I got a lot. We got like hundreds of people on this list. I've got the editor, Luis, you're the editor. Casey, you're the producer, and Sydney, you're in a way an editor, but you kind of say, can you do this? Can you do that? And then he goes, dude, I totally got this. Luis, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Goes,
yeah. Yeah. So was it like really quick, or was it like, oh, I want this, but and is there something coming next that we're gonna like? You're gonna go, let's go do a feature. We did this because a lot of videos. I don't know if you know this. There's a movie out. It's called Matlock. Okay, and it's out, I think, on one of the channels. No one watches it anymore, but it's called Matlock. Kathy Bates is in it, but it's shot like a commercial. And I go, not sure if it works, but like, take this to can we do a film together or no?
We actually are kind of working on a short film right now. It's in development. That is going to be the same team that did the video.
Yeah.
It's going to be much more ambitious, and we're definitely looking for funding because the scope is much larger for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to lie. You need to hang out. Where do you guys hang out usually?
Well, we live in Highland Park in Los Angeles.
Okay, you need to come. Okay, actually, that's a big scene. I'm going to shut up right now. I'm going to shut up. No, that's a big scene. I know that scene, actually. That scene is big. And there's a lot of underground and a lot of overground and people that you go, dude, you have time. I can't believe you're here. There's an area that I go to. Shout out to Mongolian in Pasadena. They had a guy there, and I didn't bring my mother this one time, and he's a rock. He was so sick, I'm not going to lie. And I'm not going to say what happened, but he's really big. I go, dude, you could do his video. And he would be about it, just so you know. He works with like Journey and all those guys. I cannot remember the name. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, I'm always looking for people that are willing to pay me to do a video.
Let's talk about pay because it's expensive, man. Like I remember like years ago, and they said, "Well, how much?" And I said, "Well, you don't get it. Like and you can because you go, well, it's just a video." And so people take a phone and they take that and they go, "You could do it this way or that way." But how much? Like, let's kickstart this for the next one. How much do you need?
For my short film, I don't know, probably $50K. Now, with Suck City, Casey, the band gave me some money, but I didn't want to do any shortcut. in like sacrificing my vision because I needed more money. So Casey and I funded the film ourselves, and or the music video ourselves. We paid 80% or more for the budget. We work in the film industry as well. All of our friends work in the film industry, so we kind of got everything for free. I only paid for camera lenses and some staging equipment, some set dressing. But other than that, like everything was free. If we did this movie, or sorry, I keep saying movie. It's like wishful, like Freudian slips. This music video, as somebody that has worked professionally on music videos, not in a directing capacity, but other capacities, this video probably would have been, if it was union, it probably would have been $200,000
easily,
to have made.
And we had a lot of people,
and we spent $5 on it.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the people working on it are, like she was saying, union film workers in Los Angeles. So we got very lucky with the people we know, and we're very grateful to everyone who helped out.
Yeah.
It's expensive, and I'm not gonna lie, Luis, you remind me of someone I was working with. There's a show. It's we were working on it, and we were starting, and we were like, and then everybody moved away from me. Somebody's like, I'm gonna sell my camera equipment. I go, can I have it? And he like, we talked the other day, and because I had some really big guests on our show, and I'm like, ooh, I want to bring them to the tavern, and one was like, yeah, I want to, but then you go, oh, rights and copyright and licensing and music, and you go, oh my, I didn't know it was that for a video. And you go, it is. But I'm not going to say the show because we really did nothing with it. But my point is this: you guys, you have it, don't let it go away from you, and don't move away, because then Cindy's going to say, where are you guys at? And you're like, not doing it anymore, because it's and that's just to put it together. You go, I need to live, I need to eat, and with prices where it's at, how am I going to do it? I have so many people getting out of the industry that are literally saying, I haven't touched that equipment for years. And I go, do you not understand what you have? Just like, they go, no, I don't. I did it, but I'm not going to do it anymore. I go, I don't know what to do with that. So what are you guys going to do? Like, do it now. Because I have a director we were supposed to work, and she died. Don't know if you know the story. Shauna Buck, I love you. Shauna would have helped you guys with Panavision, because she knows the people over at Panavision with lenses and all that under a certain, I forget what they call them, like it's a grant or a director or something. She did Spielberg, and now she's dead. Liver cancer got her at a young age of like 30. She really is older, but I'm going to say 30. So what are you going to do to live long and work together? Because Tavern is the show. Look it up, but you go, you just did a little, not a lot. I know, because they all moved away, so don't move away. Luis, you remind me of, like, because you are so that guy that goes, whatever you want, guys. Like, but someone's going to, like, steal you away from everybody. Don't let it happen.
No, she's the only one I work with now.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of experiences, and I'm like, only people that are cool now.
He only works with me. It's great. We're married, so, unless, he runs away or something.
I'm married.
Yeah,
so.
He's married too. But,
and we've got a chain around his ankle, at least for the wall.
Yes.
Helpful.
He's captive. He's our captive. Casey and I are from Los Angeles, and he's from one of the hottest states in the in the United States.
Hot
so he's never going back
not
there.
Not like fun, not cool.
Yeah, and we work in the film industry, like below the line, like we're in IATSE. Our jobs are here. We're not leaving. We do what we do, like working mostly on TV commercials. So we have the money to play around and make all of these videos with the money we make, working for big giant corporations, like working on their commercials.
Yeah, we're essentially trying to Robin Hood from these corporations.
Yeah.
Take the money from the I shouldn't say any of the companies that we do commercials for because of those NDAs, but take all of their money and make good shit with it, as opposed to selling products that people probably don't need.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what my resume would look like, because somebody said recently, you don't make money what you do. I go, I know that. They go, get a job. I go, do you understand where I'm at? And yet, not really, because they're like, what does that resume look like? Does it need? I need a hookup, guys. Give me a job, because this is not paid. This is not paid.
Come work for General Violence Corp.
Yeah. So keep doing what you're doing. And if prices would just go down rather than up, no. I'm waiting for the big break. ABC, call me. All right. And these guys, keep it going. I wish I could show you but come out. La Femme is where it's at. And there you go. We need like an after because there are a lot of people that go, ooh, oh, and then we're in December. And I go, you didn't, like, I've been promoting everywhere. They go, and I go, what do we do with that? So we got to like have like a follow up. Okay. Let's make it happen.
Oh, you're going to be at the film festival.
Yeah.
So will we. We'll see you there.
Well, sometimes I say that and then I get busy and people end up in the hospital and I go, I cannot be there. No, like they've ended up in the hospital and I go, I cannot be there. So anyway, I'm taking care of my mother and my sister. And if you saw my Instagram, follow me, Aaron M. Sanchez, you'll see it's not been easy, but you guys keep it going. All right. Sid, Case, Luis, can you do a little like, something like a, or like that? No, all right.
No,
we'll see everyone.
There we go.
There, that's all you got.
That's all you get.
All right. I'm the sound effect person. Okay. All right. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
Okay.
We have with us Tatiana. Tatiana, you have something here. I'm not going to lie. It's something, and I'm looking at the description. It's really a documentary, but it's something. I feel it's more than that, and maybe I'm wrong. But what's it about?
So the documentary. Hello, actually. Hey, my documentary is about a ballerina. It's about the very driven ballerina who defected from former Soviet Union, and she came to New England, and she was a principal dancer for a long time, but she also organized a school where she led for a very great, very talented, diverse students to become a professional dancer. So it's just, if you talk about it, it's short, but it's a very intimate look into her life, into the life of the students.
Okay, so all right, so and I want to see this because it's very interesting, and you said it, and it's almost one of those things where people are going ooh because it's been in the news as of late. But I'm going to read it as it is: a documentary about driven ballerina who defected from the Soviet Union in search of freedom. Okay, and I guarantee there are some say, you have freedom. You've always had freedom. You go, you don't know what it's like. But anyway, and then it says more. You know what? I'm just going to let you see it. How about that? Here it is.
That's so much better. Hold on to each other. Stay calm. Gentle smile. Nobody moves. Take your time. Take your time. Feel the back. Look at the audience. Second year of Vaganov Academy, my teacher called me a gorilla. Right in class, in front of everybody. Gorillas don't perform at Mariinsky, right? Gorillas are at the zoo. My father is Jewish, and in Soviet regime, I was born in 70s. My grandparents were forbidden to go to synagogue. I think that word defection was still in place. Nobody cares that you're tired, well, especially me. And you go for it, sweetie, go for it. That's right, you don't need to be scared. Not even one clean 2 pirouettes. I need 3 clean. Just like flowers in the morning.
Competitions terrify me.
I know that I probably have a low chance, but I still want to try.
So much pressure, there's so many people watching me.
Because it was never ballet that I couldn't handle. It was myself.
It was very hard. It was very hard.
All the pain of ballet and the mental stress.
Oh my goodness. Never good enough. Never satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Tatiana, okay, I'm going to say this and no one gets it. I say, you don't understand. Like, and you hear it right there. I don't care because you don't know what was expected of. And what's her name, by the way?
Alexandra Colton. So she has been here for a long time, but she left when she was 20 due to her Jewish heritage. That was one of the problems for living in former Soviet Union. But she also, like she said, she was looking for freedom, which we never had. I was a child too at that time, and I totally understand that. That's why I could relate. I could make it this documentary. You know?
I'm glad you did, because people, and I've said it, and they go, you like, how do I say it? People just don't believe me when I say no. And maybe if you say the Soviet, they go, oh, I get it. Because we're in a time where people, they almost miss the history. You go, no, they don't. They do. It's so weird. And I say, you don't get, like, but can you explain to the young ones? Like, we had someone who said, and she looked like she was like in her 20s. She said, they don't even know what a Walkman is anymore. I go, I know, I got it.
Yeah.
So, you know, so can you explain what the Soviet Union, because some would say it has changed, and some will say, well, but she did it at a time in the 90s where you go, that was very difficult to defect. There's movies about defecting,
Yeah.
but not seen as a popular thing. So she, I guarantee, had it hard, and you know, but yeah, can you kind of like,
Sure.
just don't know?
So since I was a child, I always like dreamt about going to America, or like I heard about Las Vegas, all such beautiful things. You know, we live in Ukraine, and Ukraine, I personally, she's from you know, it was like Soviet Union, all republics together. So she's from Russia, St. Petersburg, because that's what Vaganova, very famous ballet college, was at that time. But we always dreamt to go and see the world. The country was closed. It's no freedom. It's no. It's a government who just trying to politically orient you, propaganda. Maybe you also heard about that. So people didn't know even what is the real life is, like the life here. And she traveled a lot when she was young, because with the ballet theater. So she's been in Paris, she's been in some European country, not in the United States. So very early on, she knew she wanted to live and see the world. Also, anti-Semitism, that's a question that was raised in this film, because it wasn't allowed any religion back in former Soviet Union, anything except Christian, Orthodox Christian, that was a Russian. So Jewish people tried to escape. Mostly that time was Jewish people living in Russia, Ukraine. And also they would put their nationality in the passport. That was one of the other reasons they tried to escape from former Soviet Union. She was a great dancer. She had a chance, so she could try. And with one of her trips to United States, she asked for the refuge status, and she stayed when she was 20. She had a very successful career, but part of it is more about her students who she was teaching, because she is so different. She came from a very strict background and school, which is Vaganova, very famous back in Europe at that time, in Russia. And the way she teaches her students, it's very different, what you see here in America. That's what also part of the story, how she comes with that baggage from a Soviet Union, and how she's trying to change, and how students trying to change to adapt her way of teaching and learning, and trying to be successful in this very, very competitive world like ballet dance.
So there you go. That's the answer. And yeah, it's a whole other, which is why a lot of awards are won from the Soviet Union. And at a time where she, like, a lot of awards, you don't even know how many awards, because they're very like you do it right, or like it's not off with your head, but you feel like it is, right? No, I don't
Right,
know.
right. No, that was entirely different country. It's like living two lives. Right now, the way I lived before that, when I was a child, they come in and starting all over again. And for her, maybe it felt different. But I think something we got the experience there. She still had it in mind, being in Vaganova and coming from Soviet Union. She teaches differently, and she's trying to change, and that's what the process, the transition of her coming in the fact from former Soviet Union. She's trying to adapt to a new system, to a new way of teaching, and she's trying to bring something new to to diverse students here, which is probably a great thing too, but it's very hard. You have to watch a film to understand the process of that. It's not easy for both to transit and meet each other in somewhere in the middle where you can learn from someone who is different, and you can teach people who still don't understand your culture, how strict it is, the way we study back in Ukraine or Russia.
Well, Woman in the Mirror, it's at La Femme. It looks, I'm not going to lie, it gives a perspective that you go, oh, I didn't know. And you go, yeah, all right. So there you go. It's right there. And she had transitioned to teaching. That's hard when you do it your whole life. That's hard because you're like, I want to be. And you go, well, now you have to teach. You go, I want to do. And that's the answer. So there you go. All right. And it is emotional. It gets emotional. Did it get emotional during like filming that?
Very emotional with the students because not
was there ever a moment where they're like, don't film anymore, and you're like, but I have to, that's what I do, I'm a documentarian?
It gets very emotional with the student. You can see that in the trailer. Not everyone can do that. Can be very strong, because that's a boy. Actually that boy was telling that you have to be very strong. Not everyone can go through this training. You gotta be ready for that training. If you're ready, you can probably succeed and be very successful. Get a great career later on, but you have to be able to go through that. Yeah, it is very emotional for everyone, for teacher and the students in this film. And I think it's also a very intimate look because it's cinema verite. It's absolutely reality. It was just like candid camera. And I'm lucky I got very beautiful footage and got very beautiful, visual story is very beautiful shot. But yeah, it's very intimate story. Yeah, it's all reality. It's nothing, like even interviews are very minimal. It's mostly what you see in the footage, which was like in the corner somewhere hiding with the cameras taken. And that's why I think it's very interesting, because you see the reality of life.
Well, and that's what we're about. La Femme is about that, and we've been that 20 years. This is 20 years. So
yeah, congratulations, 20 years.
Can you believe 20 years? Wow. So there you go. That's the answer. When it started, 2004. All right. So there you go. That's the answer. Thank you so very much for spending time with us. La Femme is where it's at. It's happening at are you going to be, where are you at, by the way?
I'm in Boston, where actually the school is Boston, and, it's Massachusetts. I live in Cambridge, and teach at Boston University, but I hope I can be there. Yeah. Okay, that's all happened in Boston.
Well, I have, there are people that I know that went to Boston, so, I should bring him out. He goes, this and that. So if you come out, let me know, because, everybody knows Jose Luis. He went Boston. I think they were it kind of changes, but it's not. But something about Sesame Street kind of happened like in a bunker there in Boston University or something like that. And then I have family members that actually went to Boston University. I did not go. I wasn't ever. I just. Then Harvard is in the family. I'm the guy that didn't do any of that. I think that's why I need a job. Can you put it out there? Job? Do they hire people like me to talk or speak?
Sure, it's what you do right now. It's great. It's fun.
I could do it. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. And I know you have a story too. So let's make it happen. Okay, Tatiana?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. More right after this.
cómo llueve.
No es lluvia, es Dios escupiendo los gabachos.
Me gustaría llevar conmigo y con Manolo a Lanito, a mi tierra.
¿A dónde? ¿A España?
Sí. Puedo tomar mis propias decisiones, ¿sabes, Manolo? Soy una mujer libre.
Sí, libre de tocarme los huevos.
¿Lo hueles?
Es mi tierra.
¿Es vuestro? No. Es hijo de mi señora, pero vamos, que lo he criado yo como si fuera mío. Se llama Lanito.
We're here with Carol, and Carol, look, I'm going to tell you right now, Carol, you got something here. Speak Sunlight. It looks really amazing, and I do. Okay, here's what I'm going to say, because I had the description here, and now I don't have it. But what is it about?
It is a story, a very personal one, in fact, which I'll tell you more about later. But the basic story is a young boy teenager, who lives in Paris with his diplomat parents, who sit around a table with 20 people every night, spends his life in the kitchen, which is much more interesting, with his Spanish nanny / cook and her very, very, very droll, very, very sophisticated kind of butler husband, both of whom were from Pamplona. It's the 60s, Franco, Beatles, de Gaulle. And one fateful summer, Maruja, who's the nanny in question, realizes she's very ill. I'm not giving anything away because the audience knows this very, very soon in the movie. And she wants to take Alanito, back to her homeland where they haven't been for 30 years for reasons also I'll explain, to see something that he's always wanted to see. He's an American, but speaks perfect Spanish, having lived in the kitchen for half of his life, smoking the odd Gauloise, and she gives him a little port from time to time, you can imagine. And it's very, very kind of droll. The whole thing is more fun than anything that any teenager can imagine. And in this summer, his life entirely changes. She wants to put every memory she possibly can in this boy's head before she leaves this earth. Very sentimental, but it's funny, it's sad, you'll laugh, you'll cry, all of that
Well, I think we have it. Do we have it? I think we have it. Let's bring it on. Here it is.
Thank you.
Hay que ver cómo llueve.
No es lluvia, es Dios escupiendo los gabachos.
Me gustaría llevar conmigo y con Manolo a Lanito, a mi tierra.
¿A dónde? ¿A España?
Sí. Puedo tomar mis propias decisiones, ¿sabes, Manolo? Soy una mujer libre.
Sí, libre de tocarme los huevos.
¿Lo hueles?
Es mi tierra.
¿Es vuestro? No. Es hijo de mi señora, pero vamos, que lo he criado yo como si fuera mío. Se llama Lanito.
Ala. En España, como le toques un pelo a una mujer sin estar casado, te cuelgan y una vez colgado te fusilan.
¿De dónde vienes? Yo soy americano, pero vivo en París ahora mismo.
Soy medio americano también, ¿eh? ¿Sabes, Hemingway? Le echó los trastos a mi madre. Tocó con su varita mágica y 31 años después...
Solo quiero que seas una persona decente. Si no te respetas a ti mismo, nadie te respetará.
¿Por qué nos quedasteis a vivir aquí?
Tuve mis razones.
¿Y Maruja?
Tuvo las suyas.
Lo importante no es cómo te ven los demás, sino cómo te sientes tú mismo.
Yo aún no sé por qué te escapaste conmigo hace 30 años.
Tú me salvaste, Manolo.
¿De qué?
De mí misma.
¡Viva la República! Solo corre, como si tu vida dependiera de él. Que en realidad depende de qué hostias.
¡Niño! ¡Corre!
¡Cogedle, coño!
¡Corre, Alan! ¿Crees que me parezco a Paul?
¿Y yo a Ringo? Quiero darle algo para recordar.
Todavía te queda algo que darle.
¡Libertad!
Okay, I am enamored by that. It was shot amazingly. Carol, we've had you here before, haven't we?
No.
I feel
This
like
is
you and
my
I have talked
first.
before, though. Okay, I feel like you and I have talked. Maybe it's a sister. You don't know.
In
But
another
Carol,
life. Yes.
yeah. Oh, I know who I'm thinking, and she is a director. I should put you in touch. Okay, so Carol,
Okay.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I like life. I believe life. But here's the answer. Okay. A, it looks great, and B, it looks like it should be nominated for something. Is it in like a category where it can be nominated for this year, or not really?
No, it was last year, and in fact, we were hoping to go for the Goyas. You know, I went ahead as an American, making a film in Spanish, a language I did not speak at the time of the movie. It was really a Spanish national film. So in fact, it didn't make their Academy shortlist, but we opened in 120 theaters. We did amazing business in Spain. So I'm very, very happy with that. We won.
And you need to dub it. Can you? Because Netflix wants it. I know they do, because they're doing a lot of those, and it just needs to be dubbed. I know it's not the same thing, but it just needs to be dubbed, because a lot of stuff that are done in the US are dubbed all over. What's the language that it's shot in, by the way?
Spanish, just regular kind of normal, and not Catalan, just normal Spanish. And it was quite you can imagine the adventure it was, given that I didn't speak Spanish, and my actors, except for the young boy who's bilingual, did not speak English. So, and it was my first feature, and it was quite a ride.
How is that a first, though? Because it looks like you've been working at it forever. How is that a first?
Thank you so
like, if
much,
you see some of
Aaron.
the shots, yeah, there's some shots that I go, I want to film of that, I want to film of that, and I want to film of that. So right now, you're not as like, I want to say Spielberg, but you're like a different, but it's everything that I like. What's that one with the Italian? And he made it really. Yeah.
I know.
It looks like it was shot in that way,
Yeah.
you know? How are you a first? It doesn't make sense. Do you have other people working with you, or you did it all yourself?
Yes. No, as you know, better than anyone, we do this in a large group. And in this case, it was quite a large group. It is really, I had the best crew in the world. And let me say, you flatter me, sir. But that said, I will admit that I had Pedro Almodovar's team on my movie. His director of photography, his editor. So I was so well surrounded by the best people in the world that I had a pretty good shot. I had a big leg up, but it was just an honor to work with these people. And I've been in the industry for quite a long time. I worked as a second AD, first AD, production manager, line producer, and I was also a cinematographer. And in a not so much former life, but mainly documentaries, because I was a journalist before I got into the cinema. So I really kind of was ready for, let's put it this way, I was ready for it. So.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment right now, because I now I have a feature in my head. I go, oh, I know the people that could do it. Look, you, and I don't know how this happens. How you, like, last year, and you could have, but you brought it to La Femme. I think. Does Les know you, like, around? Because, and I know you're in the industry, I get that, but it's shot in a way. Am I wrong? Because there's some films that I see and I go, yeah, it's all right, but it's not gonna get distribution. And then someone said, no, it's already on, like, the stuff that your mother looks at, Roku and other devices like that, Tubi and all those. Yeah, and I go, well, how do we get this stuff? Like, seriously, because you would think it would come here first and then get out there. But obviously, anyway, I want to see it. It looks good. It looks great. It looks wonderful. There's obviously something around the corner for you. What's happening next?
Wow. I have two things I'm doing. One that I wrote, that's a French Revolution thriller that was at Amazon. And as these things go and administration has changed, it's now out. So out of in turnaround, you could say. And I'm going to put that together possibly as a French film. And I do have an English language film or two that I'm going to make. But to be honest, I'm really involved in a documentary right now. Israel, Palestine. We'll leave it at that for the moment.
Yeah, they're at war right now. Everybody's at war right now. You go, how am I going to? So look, there's so much happening. We do the news and I go, you don't know it, huh? Like, everything is getting destroyed in the area, and no one understands. So you may have a little moment where you go, oh, we're not filming that right now because it's almost impossible to go there, because they're moving everybody out of the area. So that might happen. They go, well, it might last just a little or not a lot. But anyway, put that on the back burner and do a film. That we could have another film and another film and another film and another film, and then they have to let you in.
That's absolutely the best advice ever. No, I'm with you. Listen, I've been wanting to do this a long time. I will give you a moment and to say that the author, who is the young boy in the story, and who, the book is based on his life, became a dear friend. And I don't know whether I should tell the audience. I usually tell them after, but I'll tell you now because we're close friends by now. And I'll confide in you. The author passed away a year after I optioned the book, and I promised him I would make this movie. 22 years later, here we are. So
I had a director friend, Ascended Masters, love it. We did a Kickstarter, it didn't make it. We did a music video that made it, Kickstarter. Indiegogo, I think she took it. We raised money for that, but then she died recently at a very young age. I don't want to put her age there because to guarantee she's like, "How dare you?" But she died of liver cancer, so you don't know what's going to happen around the corner. You know,
it's so true. So I've been holding on to this, but I grabbed the moment and I said, I think I swallowed this story somehow, so I decided to direct it myself, and I'm glad I did. It's been a win-win for me all the way, and again, I did it as a tribute more than anything else, and loved every minute of it. I really did have an extraordinary time. A lot of obstacles, but it really, as we all do, but really extraordinary time. Really felt like I gave it everything I have.
You have it, man. And I get the long, like you've been in business a long time, but I need you to direct more. That's the answer.
Okay,
and
Aaron,
keep going. All right.
I promise you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you there. Bye.
Oh, Carol, you so much more. Okay, we'll see you. Thanks. More from La Femme. We have with us Kara, and Kara, you're the director of something that is called The Callback. A lot of people understand that. I'm not sure if it's the same, but it's described, at least here, a comedy about following a dream into a waking nightmare. We're about that. I don't know if you've seen some of the films. It's all nightmare and get people getting killed. Is it that, or is it something else?
That is the film, and also there should be 2 more people in the background that are in the waiting room.
Yeah, well, and they're always there. But okay, here's the thing:
Molly Dunsmore and Lisa McElroy.
Okay, yep, they're coming. Oh, look, Papa. Okay, we're all there. Okay, so now that we're all here, this film. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Molly, for being on with us. This film. Well, I'm just going to go to it. Okay, and then we could talk about it. Here it is, The Callback.
I don't have any lines.
Well, you're the girlfriend, so.
What happened to her lines?
I cut them. And go.
She sets the tone for the scene. Okay, well, maybe she's smoking in the scene, even though she isn't talking, just because she's nervous.
Do you want this on camera?
No, Ashley, I just want to start. Can we do that? And go. No words.
They're like that. I kid you not. They're like that. Okay, The Callback. Let's talk about it. Okay, that scene, by the way, that's just how long is this?
It's 13 minutes.
Okay,
so it's a short film, and that's just a scene from it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Obviously, it's something that I go, ooh, I like it. I want to see it based on that. But what is it about?
Well, I'll have Lisa, my co-writer, answer this question.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having us on. So The Callback is about a young actor who is auditioning for roles, and it's sort of just like audition after audition after audition, and she's relegated to these sort of stereotypes that young women run into when they're trying to work in the film industry. And we just took that idea and ran with it, and until the ultimate final audition.
Okay.
Give away what happens. So
no, we never do. And do you want anything to say, Molly, on that?
What it's about, or
being in it.
All of it.
All of it. Yeah, I mean, I could relate. I feel like, yeah, I especially the audition was like being very frustrated and having essentially like a meltdown doing a self tape, and I was like, oh, I don't really have to act. So yeah, it was very relatable and very funny, but also very like dark and real, and I loved it. It was great.
Okay, everybody says that it was great, but okay, here's a question that I have, and I love it. I want to see it. It's called the callback, but no one understands what happens at a callback because a lot of people are not in the film or in the business. But you all understand what happens at callback. But let's talk about like why you had it made.
Why we had the film made?
Yeah.
Well, I think all of us have experience in the film industry. I started off as an actor. Lisa and I went to film school together. Molly's an actor. And like Lisa said, we've, encountered systemic sexism in the industry. And this is just our way of countering that, just making our own little story about it. And
Okay.
a callback is basically, when you're you do really great at an audition and they call you back for a second one. And so in this case, our character's name is Maggie. She got a call back for the role of the other woman.
Okay, and sometimes people go, "Why do I always get the other woman script?" They go, "Because it's your agent or your manager. They just put you there, and you go, I want something more." Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, every time. Lisa, what do you want to say?
Oh, I think Kara and I, this was the first script we worked on together. And so it took us a while to get to the final shooting script. And Kara's a professor at Syracuse, and she has an on-set shooting class where the students work on set to learn how to make a film. And so they were integral to making this film. In particular, there were professionals on set as well. So I just thought that was an interesting process, that we were learning how to write a script together and the students were then learning how to make a film. So there was a lot of learning going on for this one. And then just writing comedy is a challenge in itself, into and unto itself. So,
and I could tell, Molly, you have that type. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Lisa, but Molly, you have that type of thing where you say something and no one understands in the room, and you go, "You didn't get that." So, Molly, I know you have something more, and you all need to work together. You have an idea, Molly, right? Because there are people like that, and you go, "You didn't get that." I got it. I got a little late the last time, but
Sorry, what was the question?
see, now you didn't get my humor. No one's getting it. My point is this. Okay, you have look. I think Kara and Lisa, you need to use Molly in everything, and then Kara, right, and then right. Am I wrong? Am I right? Because right, because she'll be unreachable in probably about a year or two because they're going to see this scene and they're going to say that woman, she has it, right?
Molly's a star. I've never met you in person, Molly, but I saw you on the big screen in Baltimore, and you're a star.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I loved making that. Like, this was so nice. And I get not to kind of like hit on the woman thing, but having a woman director and having, I mean, obviously there were people of all genders on the set, but it does make it better. Like, you feel more comfortable, at least thus far in my experience, being like, for example, like if I needed to cry or something, even though it's a funny movie, there was a lot of crying. And I would tell Carol, like, can I like have a minute and go? And in my experience, sometimes male directors haven't been as good about being like, yeah, do what you need, do what and that was just really nice. And I really appreciated it. And it was, yeah, just really a wonderful experience. It was hard sometimes emotionally because it'd be like you were saying, they had the Syracuse students who I loved, who were amazing. But sometimes it'd be like, oh, okay, I have to cry like many, many times. And I feel like Kara was so great about that. Even when I was like, I don't want to cry, I have to fix my makeup again. It was just it was so lovely. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciated that. And everybody on the set was so great.
Yeah, and it's hard to get good people to do, especially like that. Did that scene take a lot? Because even them in it probably have been like in that way, right? Or are they that way? I don't know. Let's talk about the other ones that played the ones saying, yeah, whatever. continue, right? Or yeah, do it again, or I'm not about that, right? Because everybody's an actor in this. Sometimes people forget they're not a casting person; they're literally acting, right? Kara?
I'm not really quite sure what the question is either. Maybe we're just all exhausted from making this film. Who knows? But yeah, all the actors were absolutely fabulous. Molly, I just went through so many auditions, and it was just once I saw hers, I was just like, oh my god, it was like a dream come true. Like I almost started crying when I saw Molly's audition. She's so good.
Yeah, it's hard to get Amali in the room, but it's
Yeah.
also hard to get the other actors in the room.
And the other actors were absolutely fabulous too. Some of them were Syracuse University professors, so they were my colleagues. Amy Gossels, who's a casting director in New York City, participated and cast the film. And then Tom Miller, who's also one of my colleagues at Syracuse University, cast all the local Syracuse people. And there's a few students in the film too.
Okay, well, they all have futures. They all have futures. Use them again in something else. Then you have a whole, like everything. Okay, that's the answer. I got to go. I know they're getting, but look, here's the thing. It's La Femme. It's the 20th year we're doing this, and it's amazing. Kara, Molly, Lisa, keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. We hope to see you. If we don't, we get it. You're busy. We understand, but try to make it out, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. We'll see you. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
We have with us Lily, and Lily, look, yours is something that I'm going to let you say it. What's it called, Lily? Because I don't want to mispronounce it. Somebody say, "How dare you!" Right? You got to be careful how you say this one.
It's definitely a title you might think twice about, but it is Vitch, Vitch.
Yeah, and Vitch is something I go, well, how do you? So let's just see what it is. That way you don't have to judge me. It's called Vitch, okay? You see, you're going to say I said the other word. I did not. It's a V, not. And here it is.
Theo, you are the youngest living witch, and you are powerful.
They've reinstated witch hunters. No more magic, then. No more magic.
They're afraid of what you can do.
Luz Veritas!
What's wrong?
I used my magic. No, hey, you don't get to turn into a cat right now.
Finished your homework, love. I wouldn't want to anger the greatest witch hunter of all time. Your next assignment. We have to kill her.
Shit, no, back to the cat thing. Back to the cat.
Just try not to have too much fun.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Hi, I'm Glenn. I'm your new roommate. I love Wicked. Do you know Wicked? Never seen it. Oh my...
There it is. What? It is a thing. Okay, so Vitch, obviously, I love that last scene, by the way. That you showed that, and it's a series, I guarantee it. I even have an idea of everyone that you could put in it, other than the people in it, obviously. But
All
Lily,
the additional cast, absolutely.
yes, because it could be a series. Seriously, just that last scene, you put that, and they'll say, "We get the series. We're about it." It's called Vitch, Vitch, meaning. Go ahead, Lily.
I was going to say Vitch stands for the Venice Witch. So obviously the wordplay wasn't lost on us, but yes, the Venice Witch. She is a modern day witch living in Venice, California. So
magical. Venice is not magical as of late. Have you seen it? Like everybody's getting locked up. It's horrible. But I love the area. But okay, so it's called Vitch for a reason. You can say it out loud and not be censored. They might censor us and say, "You said that word." I did not say that word. So that's the answer. Anyway, I'm excited about it. I'm surprised. I'm excited. I think somebody, did you put a hex on me? It's a spellbound thing. Got it. But it says this party witch Theodora Thomas gets an alarming wake-up call when mother warns her that the new is cracking down on a bunch of them using magic. It's a magical thing. Okay, is it Theo or Theo?
It's gonna be Theo.
All right. Uses her magic in every aspect of life, must now face the reality of the world as a normal adult. It looks CW. I think you're ready.
Hey, thank you. That was definitely what we were going for. We were like, this feels like a fun kind of free-form CW style show. So my co-writer and I came up with this idea in 2019 and wrote it during the pandemic, and finally got the funding to make it late last year. And now here we are.
And I love how it says it's kind of like Bewitched, but not. And they go, please don't do that. I get it, but it's like mother says, look, they're cracking down on us. Okay, we're a little magical in a weird way, and that's the answer, right? Don't be magical is what they really want, and they want.
Don't be magical in a weird way. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you see, and they just don't want magic. They go too much, and you go not enough, and that's the answer. But it goes a little weird. What happened?
Unsure exactly what the question was there, but I do agree that it is, we have a witch who is magical, uses her magic in a weird way, uses her magic in all kinds of ways. Maybe she does something she's not supposed to do with it, and then has to suffer the consequences, which is AKA a very hot witch hunter coming after her. So not only is she now being hunted by the greatest witch hunter of all time, she is also falling head over heels for said witch hunter, not knowing that this woman is there to kill her.
You never know what happens with witches. They tend to turn on each other. They say, no, they don't. They do. They do. That's the answer. You go, no, they don't. They do. Bitch. It's what is that? Thank you very much, Lily, and great job. And by the way, can I just speak on this? I know I'm going a little long. I apologize. Writer, director, Lil. You, as a writer, director, you go, Now, on your next one, do you have any things that you go, if I could have just talked to my other self, I would have made this happen or that happen or this happen, because I think you're magical.
I mean, it's impossible to do a perfect project, right? You always have something you would have done differently or something you wish had gone, a little more according to plan. But I think each project is its own little fun experiment. And I think that a lot of times the mistakes that happen end up making it even better. So obviously there's always things I would change, but I like just being thrown into it head over heels and seeing how it all turns out.
That happens at La Femme, sometimes we don't talk about it, but if you go each scene, I think it's a thing. You go, oh, I would have done this and that and that and that. But you don't understand how it was in that moment. And, when you get that, you get everything. So Vitch is what it is. VITCH, get your mind out of that. I'm not calling anyone. It's a Vitch. Can you say that out in public and not get it? Because I'm ABC. They're very stringent on that.
I think Vitch should not work as a Scrabble word, but also should not get you in trouble. Yeah, you should be good.
My mother's watching. She goes, how dare you? I go, I'm so sorry. It's a thing. All right. Thank you very much for spending time with us, Lil, and we'll see you. Oh, are you coming in person? Are you going to sign autographs?
I will be there in person. Looking forward to it.
Okay, sign autographs. Have those ready to go. All right. They're expensive. Right. I don't know why. I mean, yeah. All right. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
We have with us Flora and Charlotte. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I'm excited by this. I saw this and I said, ooh, 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 I want this. And we don't have a lot, I'm not going to lie. It's like a 20-second, but it's called Our Lines. And I'm going to let you, either one of you, say what it is and why people should watch it. Because they'll see it and they go, what's it about, though? You go, dude, it is a thing.
Okay, I'll go for it. So this is a hand-drawn animation I made at my first year of college, and it talks about the story of an international student and a really precious friendship they experienced in high school. And this friendship is highly connected to artistic expression and like different forms of art.
Okay, and Flora, obviously, like now, and I see here, I'm looking at the description. Our Lines is a hand-drawn animation portraying the friendship and emotions of an international student studying in the U.S. after the pandemic. We all know about it. Our lines are strokes leaking through the brush, impressions left by the dance. It is language. It is language, dialogues, and why people. Okay, you talk about it. Go ahead.
Actually, this is my younger sister. Her name is Charlotte, and she did all the animation. It's a hand-drawn animation, and I think in terms of the story, she knows more than me. I did all the music, so if there's music explanation needed, I can join. But Charlotte, I think you should take over.
Yeah, so this animation is very special in a way because it's hand drawn, and I only use two materials, ink and then printing paper, which allows me to really express like the nature and essence of the art of animation through imagination and how I play with space, how I utilize natural elements like wind, water, fire, earth, like these kind of things to express human emotions. So I think it's a really interesting and experimental art piece in terms of innovative expression.
Okay, and with that, here it is, Our Lines. And there's more than that. How long is it, by the way?
It's a 12 minutes long film.
Okay, and 12 minutes, that's a lot, and it's all animated. I don't think it'd be like, how long did that take to make every single line? Because that takes a lot.
Actually, I spent like 1.5 months making it. It is a great, it's a huge project, but I enjoy every single minute of it because I have to handmade everything, and that tangible ways of making art is really precious experiencing right now, I think.
Well, and the way it flows from one to the other, you go, you know how long that takes? I look at videos on how long that takes. I draw, but I don't draw like that. Is there a software that helps you do it, or what did you draw on?
I only use like Lightbox to draw things. Like it's literally human brain. That's the software. I imagine the speed and I pace every single motion myself to create like motion. It's more like a feeling through like direct expression of animation.
Okay, and I get it. It has like in it, and I think that's part of the description here. Our lines are strokes leaking through the brush, impressions left by the dance. It is language, dialogue, and why people meet each other. While focusing on art techniques and the artistic expression of a single pen stroke, this animation explores themes including barriers in language, friendship, and how different forms of art help humanity. I'm going to let you, Flora, go ahead.
Yeah, like, oh, Flora?
Yeah, not Charlotte. You're Charlotte. That's Flora.
Okay.
Flora,
Yeah,
go ahead,
great.
Flora.
Okay, so this is not my story, it's my sister's story, but I think the most important part is when we show it to a lot of people, they really reflect on how much Charlotte uses space, both in terms of visuals and storytelling, that gives you the time to really sit on the feelings that you're getting through each stories and each sections. And I think Charlotte uses she combines, because the brushstroke that she used is more like, correct me if I'm wrong, Charlotte. It's more like a Chinese calligraphy brushstroke that you're using, right? And so that's kind of also symbolizes the idea that there's this cultural mix. She's studying in the US, she's studying experimental animation, which I think in China we don't really have that major. But she's combining through her own culture with the major that she's studying right now, and telling the story about how she, as a Chinese student, studies in the US, and just feeling all the things like homesickness and just encountering people and experiencing friendship in a very unique way that she, and also just the pandemic and everything else. So I would say it's very emotional film. And if we talk about music, I try to do that in music too. I use a lot of piano music to portray that kind of loneliness feeling, because she's seeking. I like the film a lot. It's a story about seeking relationship. And yeah, Charlotte, if you have something to add on.
She does, but something happened in the room. Maybe it was an earthquake. I don't know.
No. Yeah,
What happened, Charlotte? You stepped away.
No, I just want to grab some frame. Like, I want to
Oh,
point it out, like, because
the stuff.
yeah. So this is like the final scenes. Oh no, it's blurred. Okay, I'll
It's
put
okay.
it on my
Keep going.
face. So, like, each frame is like it's like this, and it kind of moves while I place it. You can see, and there's like 3,000 frame in total in this
Wow,
film.
look at that. Yeah.
It's only, yeah.
Those are going to be worth something someday. Remember that, okay?
Oh, okay, great. Sure. So this is like the pen I drew it. It's like really Chinese ink pen. And I feel like the reason why I pointed out our lines is that lines are like dialogues. Lines are also like expression. Like you draw on a stroke and that's a line. And then when you're dancing, people talk about how beautiful a person's lines are. So I feel like these kind of lines that's not language and textual, like they say something. And then my English wasn't that great back in high school, but I was able to communicate with like the American friends and then the people I met through artistic expression, like the lines that's not textual. So I feel like these drawings, like, and everything that's in the animation kind of talk about that and how it helps me to cross the bridge and then to communicate with other people.
They're calling you because they go, I have a job for you. Now, real quick, Flora, I didn't mean to cut you off, but somebody's phone's going off.
I just also want to add that I think line also has some meaning in Chinese, that it's kind of like destiny. We like each destiny has a line, and that line will intertwine and will meet each other. And I think our line also has that destiny kind of feeling that, you know, our life come across to each other. We don't know where it's going to go, but at this moment those two lines are together. Yeah.
Well, and here's what I have, okay, and I could be wrong. And I have here, I didn't look at the notes, I apologize. We've had like hundreds of people on here. Flora, you're a composer, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so composing, when you saw it, did you already know where it was going? Because that part is a whole other part. And Charlotte, do you do composing? Charlotte's stepping away again.
Yeah.
Charlotte, do you do composing or not really?
I used to learn singing, so I know a little bit about music and what kind of music I want, but I don't do composing.
She composed the ending song for it, which is very impressive.
Yes.
So evidently you okay. So, but Flora, now composing is a whole other thing. And when you talk like, and I don't want to take you away from animation because I see it, but I also see you have a lot of like, you're around a bunch of people that are watching, they're all filmmakers, and they go, ooh, I want that, because it's hard to get a composer, A, to get it, and B, to understand it, and then C, to go, oh, I get where you're going, you know. So how did you make that happen, Flora? Did you put an orchestra together? Did you do it like, I keep talking about programs because there are programs that work, but how did you do it, Flora?
Yeah, I think in this case, we just have the gift that she's my younger sister, and we live together. We lived on the same bed for like 10 years, and so we just always talk about the film that we watch and everything that we like, our understanding about art. I always share her the music that I like. So she has a really clear vision of kind of music that I compose. But still, when I look at the animation, it took me a while to get what exactly she wants. But I get that feeling. It's just hard for me in the beginning to put it into music, because experimental animation is a whole different monster. I feel like it's a whole different animal, because in animation you have this very clear storyline. You have you know exactly what's going on. But for experimental animation, sometimes it's just pure emotions. It's like very abstract. And when I first look at the film, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I kind of don't know how music should be placed in this particular scenario. And so I had to feel it more than analyzing it. And I think one of the greatest challenge that I had was like all of a sudden the protagonist start to dance. It was like very beautiful dance. And I had no idea what kind of music I'm writing to it, because it was such a short moment, but I have to portray that. And Charlotte was such a great director. She told me that she told me that I should stop trying to imitate other great composers, but have my own understanding of that dance. It's more like an epiphany for that person, for the protagonist, and for Charlotte to witness that dance. It's like the moment that art comes through your feeling without actually having the mind processing it. And that cue, I remember we worked on for like 6 different versions. But yeah, in general, it's just me understanding my sister's feeling and know what she wants. And I'm not gonna cry in front of the camera, but I think I understand the story that she's telling, and I understand what she's trying to say, and my music just comes through naturally. And in terms of instrumentation, I use piano a lot, some strings, some electronic music, but mainly piano, which it's also, piano is a black and white instrument. I think it fits the visuals too. Yeah.
Okay, and thank you, Flora. You keep getting it to Charlotte. Charlotte's like, look, you understand what I want, and how expensive it is, Charlotte. Like if Flora charged, because we have ones that go, you cannot afford, I cannot, I don't have money anymore, I'm out. But if I put together you guys, I think I could. No, all right, you got another project. Never mind. I'm trying to. What? Somebody took my host on another job and they didn't even give credit, and I don't even think they're paying the host. It's so weird. Anyway, but okay, Charlotte, Flora, keep going, do what you're doing. I'm going to show it again. I never do this. Here it is. Our lines. Watch this. Just wait. There it is, Flora, Charlotte, thank you. And it's more than that, 12 minutes of that? How do you do? Keep doing. All right, keep going. The sons are in the house. Keep going. All right. I don't want to step on anything. What? I'm going to. I'm sorry. Your family, what do they say? Have they seen it? Are they coming?
Yeah, my family, they like pull up like a screen at the home and they seen it. They seen it with visual, with muted, without visual. Like they seen a different version to like digesting time.
Yeah, they want to make sure that I do a good job with all the visuals too. So they took out the visual, only listen to the music, and they also like read the music and only look at the animations. They're very serious about it.
But they're a good test. As long as they don't, because I'm telling you, they're good. Just don't let them take advantage of you. That's all I'm gonna say. People take advantage, and they go, "You make our film, not your film." Okay, and there you go. And then they own you for life. I have one trying to. All right, thank you so very much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Aaron. Bye.
We're here with Diane and Joe. You guys, look, here it is. Happy Landing. And Happy Landing is something you're going to want to see. I guarantee it. It's about, and I have this listed, it's a 55 community upended with 2 mismatched cash-strapped boomers that run a illegal business from their, wait a minute. Is this a story about something happening between, or no? It's like,
oh my gosh, Aaron, you are so sharp.
I am that person. I am that person.
You are so funny. We've been watching you muted and laughing our heads off. Yeah, this story actually is based on the two of us, but with hyperbole for effect. So our cash-strapped boomer protagonists meet in a 55-plus community. We don't live in a 55-plus community. Clearly, we're old enough, but we don't. And our protagonists are mismatched. She's a recently fired, very sophisticated executive. He's a laid-back, flirtatious stoner. They have themselves in a terrible cash-strapped circumstances. Like us, we are outliving our money. And so we both have been writers for many years and decided, what should we do? Let's write our way out of the dilemma. And so we created Happy Landing. And it's a 30-minute episodic rom-com.
Okay, Happy Landing. All right, I'm going to say this right now. I say it all the time. My mother doesn't get rom-com. Can you explain what rom-com is? Because I think it's the word that people don't get. But explain it so my mother would get it.
Oh, I love that. So if it's a comedy, then that means every scene is going to have laughter. Every scene's going to hit a joke so that the audience is laughing. Think Seinfeld. But a rom-com is a pretty equal portion of romantic moments, possibly would even be dramatic moments, and then comedy. So each scene has some comedic moments and lines, certainly characters, because we have a quirky ensemble cast, but there is some romance, there's some intrigue. And then remember, there's a crime going on. These people are working against the law because this takes place in Austin, Texas. And what they do is against the law in Texas. So there are a lot of cliffhangers because you need that, right? If you have a romantic
tension
television show and you've got a little bit of drama and crime going on, but it's definitely a comedy as well.
Okay, I'm glad to thank you because I don't know how to explain that to my mother every single time. I'm like, and I'm not saying because you're right, and you put in there 55. I'm not going to put that, but I know. I'll give you an example. Okay, down the street, kid you not, this made the news. Okay, kid you not, down the street. All right, my mother and I take care of my mother, and she knows it. I've said it every single time. Yeah, and she was in the hospital recently. Go check my Instagram, give her love there. But look, I say, please don't follow the because then she goes, I'm going to follow them, and I go, please don't. But anyway, the point is, down the street there was a huge bust, and it went all over the news. It went national, international, and the bust. You look and you go by there, and you go, what? Because the FBI were here, the ATF were here, everybody, and you're like. So I think in a way, now what is, okay, because you say it's illegal, but what do they do illegally in a condo?
Well, the guy, his name is Marco, he runs a very small underground, just for the residents in the building, cannabis company. He grows it in his condo, he rolls it, sells it, but he barely makes enough money to get by. And his son wants to help him financially. He doesn't want it. He wants to stay independent. But Maddie moves in, and she's this high-powered executive from marketing. And she, being absolutely desperate for money, said, I can help you build your business, but you're going to have to give me a cut. So the two of them go in business together, and there's plenty of bickering and, that sort of thing that happens when you're mismatched.
Aaron, you mentioned citing the FBI and maybe ATF outside the unlikely site. We have one of our characters is on the board of directors, on the HOA board of directors, and he is a retired DEA agent. And
of course he is.
Of course he is. Yeah, and he never quite loses that grip on his position and on his identification.
Yeah.
So we think he's been a really dynamic and fun character among many in the community.
And it's a very fun but robust perspective on aging and being at a point in your life, don't you think, where you take chances that you wouldn't have done when you were in your 40s, maybe. And then there's 3 generations of her family that are involved and 2 in his family. So it's a multi-generational comedy, and that kind of strings throughout the whole series.
Okay, and I've said this before. I say I can't show this to my mom because she'll say, "Then I can do it." I go, "No, you cannot." So back to the,
I love your mother.
No, she's not ready. But she said to me one time, she said, because she got one of those calls in the mail, like on your voicemail or something that say "pay up" and she goes, "Aaron, I just want you to know something." I said, "I'm doing a show." She said, "I just want you to know something. If I've done the crime, I'm going to do the time." And I said, "Mom, those are spam calls. Don't answer those." So anyway, the point is this. I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it. Oh, what's next?
Well, we've got, we unfortunately can't attend La Femme because we are going to be at the Austin Film Festival at the same time, which it kind of breaks our heart because we were looking forward to going. But our goal is to find a manager, love to find a producer. We know somebody out there is interested. I mean, boomers are everywhere, and we're still challenging the norm. We also have another script called Common Wall, which is a fun script about 2 sort of washed up writers who try to rebuild their careers, and they end up getting themselves involved in organized crime. So
I love your crime thing. You have a theme going on here. I like crime.
There's a lot of tension.
Yeah,
I like
opportunities for humor.
Yeah,
I don't want to get caught crime. I just
exactly.
Exactly.
I'm watching Border Patrol.
I do think about it. Like how not to get caught.
They're like, how do we make money? I'll tell you. Watch Border Patrol. You'll get ideas. And then there are cops that pretend to be cops and they get locked up. You could probably do something with that. But here's the thing. Hear me out. I think, and you said it. You said, like, well, I'm not going to say it because they say I'm not that old, but there are some that can do that. Okay, Betty White. There it is. I love Betty White. Who doesn't? Yeah. She did a thing. It was a series, but I think she would have been in this. She's like, yeah, let's do that. And I think you get another. Betty's not coming back anytime soon. Is she talking for the dead? Is she? Well, then I think you have an idea there. But right?
Our star crust is Golden Girls meets Breaking Bad. So that everybody who has read it, all the festivals it's been in, they remark that, oh, everybody gets that. Everybody loves both of those. Yeah. And they're so deeply juxtaposed.
And I love the crime thing because you said it at some age, you go, I don't care. I've done it all. And I go, you don't get it, man. Exactly. There's something in prison. But Betty would do, if she, what? Does she have, is there no, I don't know. You get someone like Betty and you got it.
Back, sweetie. I think that's a no-go.
Yeah, I know. Someone's going to bring her back or maybe someone could channel her, Anyway, all right. You guys can do it yourself. Just, but don't do that hair dye thing. I hate when they do that.
No, big fluffy hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Hairspray hair.
And then if they do lock you up, you say, I'm doing research on a film. And you go, there's the proof. And they go, oh, we got to let you go. We're so sorry. That's the answer, right? Come on. That's the answer.
Yeah.
All right. We love you too. Thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Make it out there. Me too, personally. We've enjoyed watching you and listening.
So much fun.
Great energy.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm available for hire. All right, we'll see.
I know we've been listening that you're looking for a job.
I'm desperate. I will not do the crime to do the time. All right, bye everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
We'll be back with more.
In the beginning, all films were short.
It's not a charity. We're not here to help you. We're not here to help your cause. We're there to make our money make money.
It probably takes a year to 2 years to really start seeing money.
That title of executive producer on a feature is not the same as the title of executive producer on a television show.
Because what you're seeing on television right now is history in terms of where decisions are being made today.
Don't give yourself a bad review.
before you start.
I'm sorry, I'm super awesome, and this is my pitch.
What are recommendations for packaging?
Getting to the right person at the right time, and you have the right piece of the package that they want to see.
And be able to adjust, because the plan will never execute exactly as you plan it.
If you set aside money for social media, for a publicist, for marketing, things like that, and really you don't have to sit behind those dollars, and you can have more control of your own release.
You can't go wrong. But as for me, I knew that my episode was either going to be awesome or fine. That's the risk you take.
Hey guys, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez, and I just want to say if you are thinking about getting a ticket, you need to get one. I say it every single year, and I go, who listens? So get a ticket, support the filmmakers. They're, as you could tell, they're putting everything out there. And when you see, you go, I didn't know you did it because you have big budget stuff happening, and big budget, you go, I thought you guys had that money. They go, do you know what we do for a living? Like, so there's a whole thing that you go, I thought they knew. They don't know how much, like, everything that people put out there. So, and they put a lot. Okay. So support, have fun, and then have fun, especially, do it safely. COVID's still around. I know we thought it would be past it. It's such a word people don't want to, but it is. And so that's all I'm going to say. All right. But there you go. Okay. We have more right after this. Stay tuned.
Oh, how? Wait, I want to record from my end.
We have with us two amazing people, and I know there's a whole like that we couldn't fit on. We apologize. You could tell them we're so sorry. It's Don't You Know, Marie D's debut single. Let's talk about it. And first of all, I'm so sorry. We don't have everybody's name unless you're both Marie D.
I'm Marie, and this is my mom, Rosemary. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Oh, you support. Thank you. Okay. I love your setup. Are you on? Because there's a whole slew of people I want to work with. I guarantee. Because they have a setup like you have right there. Do you do gaming and do you do stuff like on
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just started. I'm getting into streaming, so like I watched Kai and AMP and all them, and I was inspired to start gaming, and I actually started sim racing too. So yeah, like I want to get into music. I mean, I want to do music and art and put it all in the streaming on Twitch and YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, someone that's after. Okay. What area are you? Are you here in the U.S.? Are you around the country somewhere, or where are you?
Yes, sir. We are located in California right now.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Are you playing? It's getting expensive. There's so many things coming out about how people are moving. And I go, no, my mother's like, you know how expensive? I go, I know. But if you move, just remember La Femme. Okay. Now, first of all, thank you. Awesome that you're doing what you're doing. And let's talk about what you did. Don't You Know, what's it about?
Don't You Know is well, the music video was basically based in the Philippines, and it was, yeah, it's basically like like a relationship story or like a heartbreak story. And it was kind of inspired by my first relationship, so it's a love song, yeah.
Okay, I wish we could show it. I'm so about that. I'm sorry, I'm getting all confused here because we do music videos, but I should say we don't do music videos. Sometimes we do, and then they get dinged by YouTube, and I go, ah. But it's gonna be on the big screen, okay? And this is again your debut single. Why did you choose the name Marie D? Is there a thing with that, or did it just come to you, or you said, "Oh, I got this"?
Gotcha. Well, Marie D. Well, my full name is Marie Dumadara, but before my artist name was Marie Flows, and it stands for like flow state. I'm like really into that concept, But yeah, I just decided to go with Marie D. For now. I mean, if anything, if it does ever change, then we'll see what sticks.
Okay, I love it. Now let's talk about how it works for you. And I don't. Can you do some of the lyrics or not really? Because some people go, but what is it like? How would you describe it? Is it a beat? Is it a like? Do we have a thing going on, or do we?
Can I play it? Like a
No,
part
don't
of the
play
song?
it. That will get dinged. YouTube already owns it. I guarantee it. No, yeah. Like, is there a lyric that you kind of go, oh, or how do you do it?
Oh, okay.
The Muhammad Ali.
Let's see. Well, the second verse is more like a rap. So let me see if I can remember it. So okay, second verse goes like, head stuck in the clouds sometimes. Wait a minute. I'm like forgetting the lyrics right now. I'm like getting a
It
little bit
happens.
emotional.
Okay, let me start you off. Boom, 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 boom. Your mother's got it. Boom, 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 bah. Boom, 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 boom. Go.
Okay. So it goes like, don't you know I'll be out of control when you're out of my mind, when you're close, I'll be in my zone. Ain't no quitting halftime, don't you know I'll be out of control when you're out of my mind, when you're close, I'll be in my zone. Oh, baby, yeah. So that's the chorus.
There it is. Yeah. All right. See, you got some things there. Your mother's like that right there. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to do live. Okay, we did that live with no planning. I haven't heard the song. I'm telling you, I have a beat. What I do, I guarantee it. Anyway, here's the answer. You guys are doing great. Your mother supports. Mother, what do you have to say about your little one there? She's like, don't call me little.
Yeah, she's big now. Well, she's been wanting to, create music. This one, she's the one mostly wrote the lyrics of the song, and she was helped by a coach from San Francisco.
Coach, a producer,
Coach Michael. Actually, this song you can ask Alexa to play it.
Alexa, I wish I had Alexa. Sorry, I mixed up. I had Alexa once, and it stole everything of mine. It records it, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, Alexa, play ABC News Radio, KMT 1490 AM. I'm on there, I guarantee it. Anyway, look, okay. And how do I request it? By the way, Ma?
Oh, just say, Alexa, play "Don't You Know" by Marie Flows.
Yeah.
Marie, that's the answer. That's I keep messing up. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I love it. I love that Ma supports you. Ma, do you have a career as well, or are you because very rarely, like I'm not gonna lie, I had my mother once, and she had an opinion, and that was it. I said no more. Although I do have a show called Driving with Ma on Facebook because we actually test vehicles. She says everything about the vehicle. I go, they're gonna hate you. I had to edit everything out. Anyway, I know but can you do a show with you and like a bunch of others that you know? Because I guarantee you have something going on there.
Oh, well, me, I am a real estate agent. She's the one who's into music. Actually, there's another one, and she has a movie too that we entered to an international film festival too. Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo County. because that's
I
where
know
we're
them.
at.
They always ask me to come out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, wait, do I or do I? Okay, so awesome. Keep going with what you're doing. I know we're out of time, but before we go, I'm gonna say this before you get really big, because people, what? She's gonna get big. We don't want to pay the license. We don't have
That's
a
crazy.
license. Who has a license? Okay, and I'm telling them to be quiet over there. Look, quick question. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna kick me off forever? Why? Whatever. Okay, my point is this. Let's talk to the hand. Okay, here's a question that I have for you. And I'm gonna call you Marie. Oh, right. So Marie, you got another one in you? I know you do. Let's do this one.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have like an unreleased song. Can I play it?
No.
No, again, no. You got to sing it. You got to go. Okay, I'm going to give you another one. Here it is. Here it is, and then I'm going to go to you. Okay, here it is.
Purpose.
Go ahead.
Man, what?
That's the one. Go, man.
33.
Oh, okay.
33.
Got you.
Okay,
Let's see.
Could you let me do another one? Here it is.
Cause it's like on the spot, man. It's on the spot. So, man, I'm blanking out right now, y'all. I'm blanking out.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's me. It's not you. Here's another. Go.
Sing it.
Man,
Or big dreams.
yeah, I'm really blanking out right now for some reason.
Thinking.
It's all right. It is. I had it. There's my career gone down the tubes. All right. Anyway, look. It is a thing.
No, you're good.
It's all right. Just usually don't they? How do they do this out in person? Do they go you and then you and then you, or you? No. That's a song. You. All right. Whatever. She hates me. Okay. The answer. Thank you very much. Keep going what
Thank
you're
you so
doing.
much, Aaron.
Yeah, and keep at it. All right.
Yeah, right here.
We have with us, and it's something pretty good. Okay, we all got everybody. Awesome. We got Andrea, we got Heather, we got Ethan. You got something really good here, and it's called Public Defender. Okay, because I need defending after that last one. They go, "What were you doing?" I'll tell you. I'm defending. That's the answer. You know what? Let's play it. Here it is. Okay.
Defending, Aaron.
Okay, here it is. Watch.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No matter what happens, just know I appreciate everything that you've done so much.
Is my lipstick smeared?
No, it's beautiful.
Not in a million years thought I would ever defend any of them.
Are you a Trump supporter?
I support him going to jail for what he's done.
If we let them take this election away now, we're never going to get it back.
Look at all these people! New world order! You can't have our country!
It was like, I should go get a bunch of assault rifles and just stand here and wait for the war to start.
I've done this for 40 years and I never had ever been challenged.
DC Public Defender Heather Shaner. She's representing several January 6 defendants who she's also attempting to indoctrinate.
If there were 2,500 people who went in, there's 2,500 stories. I can't judge until I know this story.
I didn't even know how serious it was. I don't want to go to jail.
People on the right looked at me as a traitor, while people on the left looked at me as an insurrectionist. I just want to be Annie, You know, I just want to be Annie.
Once you can see somebody as a human being, you can listen to them. And once you listen to them, you can feel what they want for the future.
Hi, Robbie. It's Mommy. Call me back.
This is you. If we're going to have peace in this country, figure out what it means to be an American, everybody needs to take a look at themselves. Me too.
I don't know how we get these. We always get these. And I go, you don't know how big she is. She's big. All right. They're trying to censor something. Heather, help me out. Censor. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. You have a very difficult case. Okay. I'm not going to go over it. Heather, what happened? Because it was all over. And now everybody's talking about it. And they go, we don't understand January 6th. I go, you don't, because they're going to prison. And you have a very difficult time, Heather.
I'm not exactly sure what your question is, Aaron.
That's what defenders do. They go, don't tie me into that. And it's this. Have you ever had it this hard?
Have I ever?
Have you ever had it this hard?
What's a this hard?
No, this hard. Like.
Oh, I've never had it this hard. Okay, I'm a little deaf. The January 6 cases are easy. A lot of my other cases, I get somebody charged with 100 counts of armed robbery. That's not easy. The January 6 cases, people either had bad information or they went there intentionally to do bad things, or they had some sort of PTSD or paranoia or other form of emotional or mental illness. And they were roped into coming to Washington because if they didn't come, who was going to save our country? So.
Well, and I'm glad you put it that way, because I don't think people get it, because there's a lot of people going to jail and they're serving a lot of time. I literally just saw this. Somebody hit 8 or 9, maybe 12 years, and you go, but it's a form of protest, like you had someone in the documentary. And Andrea, good job, by the way, because this is one where people go, and he said, I didn't know I was because people protest, but they don't go to, or if they do go to prison, it's like for a day or two, and then they get out, right? They call it peaceful protest. But Andrea, how did you put this together? Because it's a very hot topic.
With difficulty, because tracking Heather is not an easy task. She is a shero, though, and this is a women's film festival, and I think that I would like to just give props to Leslie for showcasing women-driven films. Films made by women and films featuring really strong women like Heather. It's an important story. I think it's a story that we're all wrestling with. The stakes are really high. And when we take that step back, post-January 6th, where do we go from here? I think that's really what's the most important. And Heather gives us a pathway forward and shows us a way that we can reach across the divides and start the healing process.
Yeah, because right now they're, and I could be wrong, but they're taking all the video and saying, you're that person, you're that person, you're that person. So get expected to get a defender to defend you. Ethan, what do you have to say? You worked on this.
Yes, I did. Well, first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with us about our film. We're really happy to be here to be able to talk about it. Sort of the unofficial tagline that we've started to use with this film is, it's an attempt to just make Thanksgiving normal again. We have a situation where you have Heather, who's on one side politically, and these clients from January 6th are on the other side politically, and yet they're able to find the humanity in each other, and sort of find what makes each other tick beyond politics. And I think sort of in this day and age, it's become very easy to forget that people aren't necessarily defined by their politics, but rather it's just part of how they view the world. And all of us pretty much want the same outcome. We all want to have food on our tables, a roof over our heads, and a bed to sleep in. And it's just we have differences in how we want to get there. So we just want to get back to a place where those conversations are toned down a bit and more sort of focused on solutions rather than attacking the other side.
Okay, I'll say this: no one knew federal was a problem, and usually they say, because when they come in, you go, "Ooh, that's where we went a little," and that's where the one said it. I didn't know it was going to happen this way. I'm used to because people are used to speaking and saying, and doing, and now they're going, "Oh, I'm on a watch list. I didn't know I was on a watch list," and you go, "Yeah, it's kind of, but." I don't know. What do you think, Heather? Am I wrong? Am I right? If I got locked up, would you help me out?
Sure. You planning on breaking the law?
No, I keep saying it. I'm not doing it.
Law, Aaron?
I'm not doing it. I'm not breaking the law. That's my point.
Well, have you watched any of the videos of January 6th?
I have.
And did you see only peaceful protest?
I'm going to say this. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the entire Capitol area was sealed. Second of all, the Capitol was closed because of COVID, as were all museums in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. People broke the law just by going into an area where they were not allowed to be. My clients, not all of them, but some of them, fought with police officers, threw bicycle racks at them, sprayed them with bear spray, injured police, went into the building through broken windows, put their children into the Capitol through broken windows, and then told me they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't know the Capitol was closed. And I asked them, I said, were you inspected by Capitol Hill Police? No. Did you put your backpacks on a table to be looked at? No. Did you come in through a door? No. Did you climb in through a broken window? Yeah. Isn't that breaking the law? No, I didn't do anything wrong. And, so it takes a little bit of strength to look at the videos of what individuals did and get them to admit that that was them on the video. And not all, but most created videos of themselves inside the Capitol and posted them on social media. And that's how the FBI found them.
Yeah, and that's why I say that's one thing. There's a way to protest. You do it, and they have ways. They go, please announce, and then please don't break anything, and don't, because they go, oh. But when it gets video, and they have technology that will face that, and you go, oh, I'm all over social media, and some go missing because I'm not about that. But then, and they get you, and all of a sudden they're at the door, and they want to arrest you, and you go, that's where I come in. And so I'm not going to ask you because that's a very difficult. I don't know how they find you, because that's very difficult to do you understand the charges?
Heather knows how they find you.
I know exactly how they find them.
Yeah.
People posted videos all over social media, and then their bosses, their wives, their daughters, their sons, their brothers, their sisters, their next door neighbor called the FBI and said, I know who that SOB is. That's my dad. That's my next door neighbor. That's my employee. That was how the first people got arrested. Then they subpoenaed the individual who was named social media, and they found that they themselves had created and posted social media talking about exactly what they did. I broke into the Capitol. Hey, look at me. I'm breaking a window. Hey, that's how the FBI got them.
And there you go. I tell you,
I mean, it
don't
was
do
their
it.
own evidence. They're posting,
Yeah.
they're describing what
evidence.
they're doing. This was not a difficult task for the FBI to investigate.
Correct. Initially.
Yeah.
Now,
I still
no,
don't know how they. But Heather, you're like, okay, let's talk about it. Public defender. How do you defend?
you ask your client what outcome they want. And if their outcome is, I don't want to go to jail, then you review the evidence with them and you make a decision with them as to how to get the best outcome. And normally it's accepting responsibility early and negotiating with the government and then telling the judge, I did this, I realized I was wrong. I turned myself in as soon as I found out the FBI had a warrant, and I want to accept responsibility for what I did now. And I hope you don't put me in jail, Your Honor.
What does the judge say when they say? Have you had anyone say that? Do you have that on camera, Andrea? I would love to see that and then see what the judge
because
says.
they're not allowed to bring cameras into the courtroom.
That one I don't understand. They should allow, because they come on, Judge Judy would be like, I'm about that or not. I don't really know, because it's federal. When you go federal, that's a very Andrea. How did you? I know we're out of time. I'm sorry. Okay, we're out of time. But here's what I'm going to say, and I'm not getting censored, thank God. But I will say this. I think the people didn't know it was going to go that big that quick. And that's the answer. I'm in an area of LA where we've had a lot of things. You go, I know you have the right to I know you have a right. You have a right. I'm a guy on the news, so I always have an opinion, but I don't go out on it. But and then they go, we censor you anyway. I go, ugh. I've been kicked out of a place for saying something that I said, but I don't go into legal and break in and say, I want my information, because like you say, Heather, and that's what we need everyone to know. You don't do anything illegal, because that's gonna, but Heather knows what to do when you're there. It's called, well, I don't even know how to explain that, but keep going. What you guys are doing? Public defender, right?
Public defender.
That's it.
And she's with us.
Ethan, what do you have to say about it? You have so many things. I see you're thinking as we're talking about it. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think sort of a lot of this conversation kind of points to the larger issue that Heather sort of started this conversation with, which is that you have a situation in which people were posting evidence of themselves breaking the law, which kind of shows that a lot of these people who went into the building didn't really realize that they were doing something wrong, which sort of speaks to the larger issue of the type of information they were being given by the former president at that rally. People were going there thinking they were doing the right thing to try to save democracy, when the reality was they weren't, and they broke the law and vandalized the Capitol. So I think Heather is doing some very important work in not just defending people who have a constitutional right to a defense attorney, but also helping them understand how things are supposed to work in this country, in a free democracy that has a peaceful transition of power. And that's really an overall message that we're trying to drive home with the film.
Well, yeah, I want to see it. I
And
want to see
also
it.
a sense of accountability, because I think what we point out in the film is it's the foot soldiers that are being charged with crimes, that are serving jail sentences, that have, come before the courtroom, but it's the orchestrators, the choreographers, the people who strategize and schemed in terms of, completely misleading so many people who showed up at the Capitol and, as Ethan said, thought they were doing the right thing. And so it's important that as we move forward, that accountability remains an issue that we have to address, and that it's, a cracked and incomplete process when the leader is unrepentant and has not been held accountable. So, regardless of what may or may not happen in the court system, it's really up to the American people to make the decision on who should be held accountable and how.
I'm going to keep quiet on that. I would say it, but I know who you're going for. And the answer is no accountability. There is no acceptance of, yeah, I know. Instead of, I protect you. Do you protect? Because I don't think you protect. And that's maybe it's, you know what? Everybody's on they go, did it? I go, were you there? Talk to the people that were there. They go, I thought he was going to like help us out. Wasn't he? Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you. We're out of time. That's all I'm going to say. And Heather, keep going, man. It's hard. Like as a public defender, you're like, do you know what, like, I'm like, right? No, maybe so.
Just remember to vote. And vote with your brain, not with your heart.
And there is a way of protesting, but you can do it safely, right? Wrong? Maybe so? No?
Absolutely.
Sure.
We've seen decades and decades of protests.
Yeah, with no one going to prison. All right.
There's
And some do, I get it.
a protest and an insurrection.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you. Love
Take
Family's where it's at. We bring hot topics to you. Bye.
Right. Bye. Come see the film.